What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sincere's here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division Vendor Reset video. We're here for October 4th, 2019's reset. So let's get right into this to see what we got good for this week. Okay, so for our first gear items, we're going to head over to the meat locker. In here, the weapons vendor has an AUG A3 Para XS with a gear score of 263. It has 18.50% crit hit chance. And the talents it has is adept, responsive, and accurate. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to the base operations. And here the weapons vendor has a black market AK-74 with a gear score of 272. It has 22% enemy armor damage, and the talents it has is destructive, prepared, and vicious. And for our next gear items, we're still at the base operations. The gear vendor here at the front has a gunslinger's vest with the talent rapid on there. It has a gear score of 271. It has 1884 armor. It's rolled for electronics 1149. And the attributes it has is skill haste, enemy armor damage, and ammo capacity. And then also here we have a prototype performance mod with 2% post crit hit damage. For our next gear items, we're still at the base operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we have an extended magazine with 114% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, and 3% crit hit chance. And for our next gear items, we're still at the base operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor here, and we got a Cassidy with a gear score of 274. It has 345.50% stagger, and the talents it has is dominant, deadly, and you already know boomstick. Also here we have a Lova C with a gear score of 280. It has 21% enemy armor damage, and the talents it has is meticulous, focused, and responsive. Also here we have an M700 tactical with a gear score of 264. It has 141% headshot damage, and the talents it has is sustained, brutal, and elevated. Also here we got a classic M60 with a gear score of 263. It has 20% damage to targets out of cover, and the talents it has is brutal, adept, and accurate. Also here we have a Spec Ops mask with a gear score of 272. It is 921 armor. It's rolled for stamina 1261, and the attributes it has is health on kill and burn resistance. Also here we have a Spec Ops pack with a gear score of 264. It has 1178 armor. It's rolled for electronics 1167, and the attributes it has is skill power and bleed resistance. Also here we have an extended magazine with 114.50% magazine size, 4.50% reload speed, and 5.10% rate of fire. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to the Cavern. And here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 4% ballistic shield damage. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to Camp Clinton. And here the special equipment vendor has a Cassidy with a gear score of 263. It has 318% stagger, and the talents it has is responsive, competent, and boomstick. Also here we have a tactical SASG-12K with a gear score of 257. It has 293.50% stagger, and the talents it has is talented, ferocious, and competent. Also here we have a black market RPK-74E with a gear score of 282. It has 22% damage to targets out of cover, and the talents it has is prepared, ferocious, and commanding. Also here we have a tactical vest with the talent vigorous on there. It has a gear score of 273. It has 1967 armor. It's rolled for stamina 1156, and the attributes it has is enemy armor damage, skill haste, and increased kill XP. Also here we got an operator pack with the talent inventive on there. This one has a gear score of 272. It has 1288 armor. It's rolled for firearms 1172, and the attributes it has is crit damage and ammo capacity. Also here we have an Omega Rifle Suppressor Tan with 17.50% headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 2% accuracy. And then also here we got a Vertical Grip FDE with 49% optimal range, 5% reload speed, and 2.50% stability. For our next gear items, you want to head over to Wolves Den. In here, the weapons vendor has a SRSA-1 with a gear score of 260. It has 145% headshot damage, and the talents it has is predatory, cool-headed, and brutal. For our next gear items, you want to head over to Autumn's Hope. In here, the gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the Talent Enduring on there. It has a gear score of 268. It has 872 armor. Its roll for stamina 1176. And the attributes it has is skill power and burn resistance. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to the Southpaw. In here, the gear vendor has an operator mask with the talent refreshed on there. It has a gear score of 274. It has 946 armor. Its roll for electronics 1197. And the attributes it has is all resistance and increased kill XP. Also here we have a prototype performance mod with 5% first aid ally heal. If you don't have none higher than the 5%, I know it's a purple mod, but I figured I'd mention it. The highest is 6. And then also here we have a prototype performance mod with 3.50% sticky bomb damage. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to the Grindhouse. And here the weapons vendor has a heavy magazine spring with 3% crit hit chance, 12% magazine size, and 10% rate of fire. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to West 31st Street checkpoint. And here the Dark Zone vendor has a custom L86A2 with a gear score of 269. It has 22% damage to targets out of cover, and the talents it has is Commanding, Adept, and Vicious. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 46th Street checkpoint. And here the Dark Zone vendor has a lightweight M4 with a gear score of 275. It has 22% enemy armor damage, and the talents it has is Destructive, Ferocious, and Sustain. Definitely a PvE weapon. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 64th Street checkpoint. In here, the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has their prototype performance mod with 5.50% first aid self-heal. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to East 61st Street checkpoint. In here, the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a C79 scope with 17% crit hit damage, 2.50% crit hit chance, and 6% headshot damage. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. In here, the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous on there. It has a gear score of 276. It has 1938 armor. Its roll for electronics 1209. And the attributes it has is all resistance, exotic damage resilience, and ammo capacity. And then also here we have a tactical pack with the talent Relentless on there. It has a gear score of 262. It has 1195 armor. It has its roll for electronics 1124. And the attributes it has is stability and ammo capacity. And then also here we have some operator gloves with the talent Savage on there with a gear score of 277. It has 964 armor. Its roll for electronics 1232. And the attributes it has is health on kill, enemy armor damage, and assault rifle damage. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to DZ2 safe room. And here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent refreshed on there. It has a gear score of 269. The armor is 885. Its roll for electronics 1182, and the attributes it has is all resistance and burn resistance. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to DZ4 safe room. In here, the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5% support station healing speed. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to DZ5 safe room. In here, the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a rugged mini reflex sight with 7% crit hit chance, 2.50% stability, and 4.50% optimal range. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to DZ8 safe room. In here, the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Enduring on there. It has a gear score of 279. The armor is 993. Its roll for stamina 1261, and the attributes it has is exotic damage resilience and blind death resistance. Also here we got a gunslinger's vest with the talent Reckless on there. It has a gear score of 268. Its armor is 1799. Its roll for electronics 1182, and the attributes it has is skill haste, enemy armor damage, and ammo capacity. And then also here we got a operator pack with the talent Inventive on there with a gear score of 269. It has 12 armor. Its roll for firearms 1163, and the attributes it has is crit damage and ammo capacity. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to DZ9 safe room. And here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a SR7 suppressor with 19% crit hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 3% crit hit chance. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for October 4th, 2019. I hope everybody found something that they needed. Want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in and watching in the videos and all the support I'm getting from y'all. I appreciate that love. And I will holler at y'all with the next one, everybody. Take care. Peace.